Good morning everyone. My name is Raymond and I am here to answer the question, what are the amendments to the U.S. Constitution? First, let's start with a brief overview of what the U.S. Constitution is. The U.S. Constitution is the supreme law of the United States. It was written in 1787 and ratified in 1788. It outlines the structure of our government, defines our rights as citizens, and sets out how laws are made and enforced. Now that we have a basic understanding of what the U.S. Constitution is, let's move on to discussing its amendments. Amendments are changes or additions to an existing document or law. In this case, we are talking about amendments to the U.S. Constitution. There have been 27 amendments to the U.S. Constitution since it was first ratified in 1788. The first 10 amendments are known as the Bill of Rights and were added in 1791. These 10 amendments guarantee certain rights for citizens such as freedom of speech, religion, assembly, press, and more. The 11th Amendment was added in 1795 and limits a citizen's ability to sue another state in federal court without that state's consent. The 12th Amendment was added in 1804 and changed how presidents and vice presidents were elected by separating their votes into two distinct ballots instead of one combined ballot as it had been before this amendment was added. The 13th Amendment abolished slavery in 1865 while the 14th Amendment granted citizenship to all persons born or naturalized in the United States regardless of race or ethnicity in 1868. The 15th Amendment granted African American men the right to vote in 1870 while the 19th Amendment granted women suffrage rights in 1920. The 20th Amendment changed when presidential terms begin and end while also changing when Congress meets for its regular sessions from March 4 to January 3 each year starting with 1937's session. The 21st Amendment repealed prohibition while also giving states more control over alcohol regulation within their borders in 1933. The 22nd Amendment limited presidents from serving more than 2 terms while also allowing them to serve up to 10 years if they succeed someone who has died or resigned from office after their first term began but before it ended. This amendment was added in 1951. The 23rd Amendment gave citizens living within Washington, D.C., free electoral votes for president starting with 1961's election cycle while also granting them representation within Congress starting with 1971's session. This amendment was added in 1961 as well. The 24th Amendment abolished poll taxes which had been used by some states as a way of preventing African Americans from voting. This amendment was added in 1964 while the 25th Amendment clarified presidential succession rules should a president die or become incapacitated. This one was added 1967 as well as clarifying how vacancies within vice presidency should be filled if they occur during an election cycle instead of between cycles like before 1967 when this amendment was added. The 26th Amendment lowered voting age from 21 years old down to 18 years old starting with 1971's election cycle. This one was added 1971 too while 27th Amendment prevents Congress from giving itself pay raises until after an election has taken place. This one was finally ratified 1992 after being proposed back 1789. To summarize, there have been 27 amendments made to the U.S. Constitution since it was first ratified back 1788 which include things like abolishing slavery, 13th Amendment, granting women suffrage rights, 19th Amendment, limiting presidents from serving more than 2 terms, 22nd Amendment, abolishing poll taxes, 24th Amendment, lowering voting age, 26th Amendment, etc. I hope you found my presentation helpful. Here are some links for further reading on amendments. https://www.census.gov, Library, Publications, Decennial, 1790-2000, Constitution Amendments HTML. A list of all 27 amendments with brief descriptions, https://www.constitutionfacts.com/us-constitution-amendments/ a comprehensive look at each individual amendment, https://www.census.gov, Library, Publications, Decennial, 1790-2000, Constitution Amendments HTML. A diagram showing all 27 amendments. Thank you for your time.